Hello, I hope you guys can hear me. I'm unmuting here. Apologize for the late response. We had a little technical difficulties dealing with our Wi-Fi, but we have rectified that problem. So I'm sorry for starting a little late, but we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna pop in my PowerPoint here and we're gonna get started. Okay. All right, so I'd like to welcome you all. My name is Daniel Williams. I'm the Orland Park Library assistant, IT assistant too. Pretty much what I do here around the building is pretty much I'm the individual that goes around working on all the computers in the building, maintaining them. I do work the help desk to assist patrons that come in and want to use our computers for a certain amount of times. I do the classes, repairs, printers, everything like that. I've been here for 6 years now, and I just want to start off to let you know a little about what we're going to do is go into intro to iPad. Now, some of the things that I'm going to talk about here are going to be mostly responding to the iPad Pro, because that's a newer unit. I want to talk about a newer unit. Everyone out there are going to have different units. Now, your different iPads are going to do different things. Just want to let you know that so that you won't think that your iPad is not capable of doing certain things that some of the other ones are. But this is a more updated class that I'm doing here. It's a little bit different doing a class on video than having, I usually have a class in person, and usually the people are here and I can go over with their different devices on the functionality. But it's pretty much the same. It's not that much different. So we're going to jump right into it. First of all, we're going to talk about intro. We're going to talk about the iPad itself. Usually the iPad Pro comes with a power button. That's usually number one that shows on the top there. And then it comes with a front camera that you could barely see, but it's in the front of your camera, and it has a little flash on the side. So you could take a picture of yourself, like a selfie, or with some other people. On the back side, there's a back camera and a flash back there for you to take photos of. On the side, you're going to deal with your volume. That's going to, you're going to be able to turn your volume up and down where you want to. That's a basic response. And on your iPad. Now, the iPad Pro, it does have a little different from most iPads. They kind of boost it up. They have 4 speakers. They have two on the top, one on the top left, one on the top right, one on the bottom left, and one on the bottom right. The unit is taking, instead of the 16-pin access for charging or using to transfer data from one unit to the other, this uses a USB-C cable, meaning that it's the newer one, the newer fatter port that goes in there and connects to that. So it's a little different from the other ones, but it's kind of like it's the same one that they have on the newer Android phones. And next we're going to go into is this here just illustrates pretty much on the iPad itself and how it's set up. You have your, I'm showing you again the cameras, and then your mic is on there. The iPad itself has 2 microphones on it. So it's for clarity. So it's not just using one mic, it's got 2 mics that it's listening to for a little clarity when you're talking on the unit itself. Next we got, which is this more illustrates how everything is set up on your iPad. And if you look far to the left, you'll see where the camera and the microphone is at on the back. On the side of this iPad, there is a magnetic connection. That's for, they have a pen now that you can use to write on your actual device and draw and do all kind of creative things on it. And that magnet, the pen has a magnet on the side of it, and it actually sticks on the side so you won't lose it. And those are some of the things on that. We go to the next screen. On the screen of the iPad, you have pretty much your icons on the front of your device. On the front of your device, you're going to always have, you're going to see all these different icons. You're going to always have your camera, your photos, your clock, and everything else on the side. And then over to the left, you're going to have pretty much the centerpiece of the date, the temperature, or where you're at, the news, what's going on, some notifications you can get on your phone, get on your device as well. Toward the bottom is the dock area, and that's here at the bottom here. And that shows your docs, if it's a Safari, if you have iTunes, email, your file folders, also your text messages. Some people at yours, you can always, you might have settings that's down here in the dock. Actually, each one of these icons down there, if you ever decide you want to pull them down, all you do is hold them and drag them down to the bottom, and they will be in your dock area. And vice versa. If you want them out, you can just hold them and drag them out of that area. This here is some of the applications that you see basically on your iPad. And Safari is the browser that you're using. If you ever use a computer, you use Google, you use Microsoft, Internet Explorer, Firefox, anything like that. Safari is considered as Apple's browser. Then you have your mail, which your email. And if you have on your iPad, if you have multiple emails, you can always join those together. Apple has put it together that you're able to get your Yahoo account, Yahoo email, and any of your other AOL. If you have Gmail, all those mails could go into one. And if you want to link them all to the same, that they all send notifications at the same time whenever any notification is, you can do that. You have that type of access. Your photos, where you take all your photos, your iPod, where your music is located. You have a calendar that's there where you can set up appointments and events that's going on. Your contacts for any person that you're trying to get in contact with, like friends, family, because your iPad also is also like an iPhone. If you're connected, some people may have a connection with or have a subscription with AT&T or T-Mobile or somewhere else that you're getting your Wi-Fi through. And it's also, you're able to do, if you're able to use Wi-Fi, you can use your device as a phone using a phone call. So that's why they have contacts on there, because you're able to call people. Notes, that's where you put your notes at. Maps, of course, it's self-explanatory. Videos and YouTube and iTunes. Those are some of the things that you actually will see on there. Now, you learn basic gestures. It's a lot of gestures that you can use. Swipe up, swipe down, side to side, open fingers, close, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, a touch. There is several different types of ways of doing gestures on here. And what's going to happen here, instead of me, you're not in person, I'm going to show a video, a small video coming up here soon, that's going to show you some of the gestures that you could understand on how to use those gestures on your devices. But they're pretty much self-explanatory. You can zoom in with 2 fingers, like it says here, swipe across from the bottom up to bring up the home screen, from the top down to bring down the centerpiece. And these are some of the things that you do. So right now, I'm going to go into a video that will probably um, help you if I can bring that up. Seems like it don't want to come up for me right now. With just my luck, it was right here. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to get back with that on the navigational through the Pro. This is a video that actually shows you all the gestures. I'm going to go back to that one a little later. Um, right here is some of the controls that's on your control center button. So if you were to swipe down from the top down, it usually bring up the control center on your iPad, which looks kind of like this here. And basically you see an airplane on there. So if you're on the airplane, you go in that airplane mode. Your signals, it shows you your signal on how powerful your signal is, if it's weak or if it's strong, and then your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth. Also, it shows you your music, and your music, you're able to control it through this part. So if you were playing music on there, you can go to the center here, push play, you can fast forward it and go through your music like that. Then you have a automatic lock button. Um, you see the moon there. That moon is usually used for like you can turn it from night to day on there and make it look. It'll light up your iPad, and then if you put it in daylight saving or daylight mode, it would actually it can darken. It depends on how you like it. If it's like real bright out, I leave mine on midnight at night, so it's dark all the time. Some people might not like it dark all the time. You might want it light. So these are some of the controls where you will be able to control that. And then you have the flashlight, and then turning the flashlight off, you have the screen mirror. And the screen mirror is pretty cool because you're able to mirror whatever you have on your unit and right onto your TV. Because today's smart TVs today will link up to your device. You would have to go into the settings on your television set to connect it to your device. Your device already knows that it's in the vicinity, but it's not set up for it. So your TV has to be set up for this. And once you set that up and look for the settings for it, and some of the things that I'm telling you about that you really don't understand about, I just want you to know that there's certain ways that you can find out more about it. Since I'm not illustrating it enough for you, you can always go to either google.com and look it up that way. You can go to youtube.com, and that's youtube.com, YouTube. And just in the search engine where it says search, you want to type in exactly what you want to do. You have a Vizio TV and you're trying to link your iPad to your Vizio TV. If it's possible, it'll tell you how to do that and show you a video on how to do that. And that'll help you out instead of trying to figure out, oh well, you're reading about it, and sometimes reading just don't get it for you. So someone will show you actually how to do that. And of course, some of the other things that you got a calculator, so if you want to do some calculation on it, you can click that. You got a timer on it, you have a camera on it, so when you click the camera, then that'll pull that up. Okay, if you need to add a Wi-Fi on your iPad, the first thing to get to your Wi-Fi, and the most important part, there's a search engine, as you can see on the gray side over here, that says settings. This is where pretty much all the controls, anything that you have to do, you want to do with your iPad, is pretty much controlled through here. So what you want to do is to click on settings, and then settings will bring up this screen here. Then you'll see, like on illustrating number 2, you'll see Wi-Fi. Now, if your Wi-Fi is not hooked up yet, or if say you went over a friend house or you're someone else, over somewhere else, make sure your Wi-Fi is turned on at all times. Next, if you look at number 4, you see where it says Cleaver Media. Well, whoever's Wi-Fi you're at, say like St. John. I go over St. John house tomorrow, and he says my Wi-Fi name is St. John. So I'm looking for St. John. He may say St. John 25. Over on your left, where you see choose the network, where number 4 is at and pointing down. All the networks you see down here is when your iPad is on, it is searching for Wi-Fi. When it's on Wi-Fi, it's searching for any Wi-Fi. So you look for whatever the Wi-Fi that you're at. If you're at Starbucks, you look for Starbucks. If you're at McDonald's, look for McDonald's. If you looking for that friend, like I said, St. Charles, I'm looking down here for St. Charles network. Now, if you look over, you'll notice that over to the right, it has little locks on the side. The locks on the side meaning that you need a password to access it. That means that it's not free. You can't click on and get on it. Just because your device will pick up Wi-Fi that has passwords on it, but you will not be able to access it unless you have the password to access it. So that is the real big picture here. And you have to understand that right in the middle part here, in the middle is the signal that you're getting from each one of these devices that's on here, that name on there. So as you can see, some of them are real vague, and then you notice that Cleaver Media, you can see that's all the way up to the top. All those bars on the top mean it's a very strong signal, and you'll get a very strong signal, won't get dropped off. The ones that the least depleted are the ones that's not a good signal, won't be good for you to use. The arrow to the side, if you click that, it will bring up, once you click on it, it should bring up and let you know if you're connected or not. If you're connected to the Wi-Fi or not, it'll let you know. And at that time, if you're not, it'll ask you for a password. And you would have to type in the correct password to get on that Wi-Fi. And at the bottom, as you can see, it says X to join network. Okay, that's turned off if you want to turn it on. And that what it does is that your device will ask if I can join this network, yes or not. It's kind of like here at the library. If you come in with your device to our library here, we have free Wi-Fi. When you come in, you'll see OPPL Wi-Fi. And what happens is once you see OPPL Wi-Fi, you're going to click on it. It's going to give you a page that gives you access to our Wi-Fi, and it's an agreement that you have to click a little button at the bottom, and then you're automatically on there. Just a waiver that you have to, you're on a public Wi-Fi and everything else, and then you click on it that you're okay with that, and it automatically gets you on our Wi-Fi. And that's how it usually works on the Wi-Fi. I'm going to move on to the next. I don't want to elaborate too much on that. Okay, so again, now on the Bluetooth, on the left side, when you click settings, that little wrench, and you click on there, you're going to see airplane mode, which if you slide the bar up here to the left, it'll go, if I'm like I just got off the plane 2 days ago and they ask you to put your phone in airplane mode to just a normal thing. I will click this over as I'm using my device over to airplane mode. Now, Bluetooth is a little different. Bluetooth is for you to connect different devices are connect to Bluetooth. And it sends a signal out as well, just like Wi-Fi. And you can find out what devices that have Bluetooth. Like I have a stereo system that's Bluetooth compatible. And so when I turn that stereo on and I got my iPad on Bluetooth and it's turned on, over to the right, you'll see it. And as long as that Bluetooth is on, it'll show my devices. If I am connected and I have them on, my devices will show up. Like my pen, my Apple Pen, it'll show up that I'm connected to it. iPod Pro, I'm connected to it. Now, any other devices that I do not have stored in here and have connected to my iPad will be on the other's device because I have not actually paired them together. So as you can see, like John Appleseed's mouse, John's MacBook Pro, these are other devices. Is anything that's radiating a system, a signal from Bluetooth. So if I turn on this mouse here, that is a Bluetooth mouse that connects to anything, it will show up on my screen as like it says Johnny Appleseed's mouse. It'll show up on the screen and I can connect that to my iPad. And that means if I had a stereo, I'm at a friend's house, they got a stereo, it's compatible with Bluetooth, I can connect my iPad with music on it to their stereo and I can play music from my device on any Bluetooth. Okay. Next is notification. Notifications is when it's to alert you that you have different alerts. I mean, you may have different settings on your alerts to let you know that, hey, there's sales going on and you got Amazon and they're sending you different sales. That's a notification. If you had an alarm set for your calendar, like today's your birthday, it sends a notification to let you know that. So notifications is what's sending you for alerts. If you needed to pay a bill and you had it on here to alert you on a bill, that's a notification. And everything that you see over here that's in a group application, the notification style, as you can see on the top, it says Amazon Video is off. That means that I don't have anything on Amazon Video coming in and giving me a notification. I don't want that on. The App Store is a little different because if there's an app that I'm trying to get, I have trouble with, it could send me information if I really want that. If I don't want the App Store to send me anything, I'll turn that notification off. But my calendar's always going to be on because I have birthdays coming up, I have certain events going on, and I always want to make sure that my notification is turned on. Like mine turned me, let me know that, hey, you know, your birthday is today, even though I know my birthday is today. And I didn't know that my cousin's birthday was the next day. I forgot about it, but it notified me that my cousin's birthday was the next day. And so these things I want to turn on and keep on. And it's really up to you how you want to set that that notification on there. If you click on it, it'll give you how you wanted to set it up. Okay. Next is a list on iPad. This is a general list on of everything that you go on. It's general. So what it's going to tell you, you see up in the top right corner, it's going to say about. If I was to click about, it's going to tell me, show you here. If I need more space to update or anything like that, and let me just go back to about real quick because I didn't iterate on that. About is going to show me everything about my iPad. About is going to tell me what type of iPad I have, what generation, what OS am I running. It's going to give me all the information, how much space is on there, how many gigs it is. All the information is going to give me it's going to give me the serial number, the make and model, all that information that I need to know what type of iPad I have. So if you have a certain iPad and you don't know which one you have, if you go to About and click that, it will tell you the type of iPad you have, with generation, all the information that you need about your specific iPad. So if you go in there looking for accessories for that iPad or what it can do, you can always go to About and jot down all the information on what type of iPad if you don't know. Very helpful information. Okay, now the software update. Like I said, you need this to make sure that you have more space on your updates. You want to, it shows you all the latest updates that's required that Apple has put out for your device, your OSI system to have. So you want to make sure that you checking this out on a regular basis. I would say once a week. Just make sure that all your software is updated. If you have an iPad and it's kind of running slow, it's acting kind of weird, like, it's a possibility that it hasn't been updated. And Apple does a lot of updates on their devices to keep them secure. So you might want to double check and make sure that um, your device is up to date. Okay. Next is the Spotlight. The iPad Spotlight helps you find your photos, your music, email, and your contacts, movies, or anything like that. So what the Spotlight does, it actually shows up on your screen, and you're able to type in if you're looking for a specific, say, music. Say I'm looking for Garth Brooks, and I type in Garth Brooks into my iPad. It will take me straight to all my Garth Brooks music that I'm looking for. And if I'm more specific and looking for a certain song that he has, I'll be specific on the song, and it'll take me right to it. And the same thing, it goes in photos. If I'm looking for photos for, say, April 30th, and I knew I took a lot of photos, went to Disney World and did a lot of crazy things, and I want to say photos from April 3rd, it actually has a stamp on the dates on it, and it'll pull up all my photos for April the 30th. And it's a good thing to have. And the next one is the handoff feature on your iPhone. And Matt, it lets you start something on one device and then you complete on other, meaning that if your phone is set up, this is where you would set up a handoff with, say, for instance, I'm working on something and I got my iMac computer at home. Okay. And I'm finishing something up and but I don't have the time to finish it up on my Mac. I got to get going. But I said, well, what I could do is probably go ahead to my iPhone, hand it off to my iPhone, put it on here, and then I could finish up whatever I'm doing on my iPhone. And that's more like, if you're really into it, a lot of people don't use it, but it's a good little tool to use if you were working on some things. And a lot of people who's doing a lot of business, they work on a lot of different things like that, but it's a good tool on that. And if you like to more detail on handoff, again, you can go into YouTube or Google, and it'll show you how to hook that up, and it show you a video as well if you go on YouTube on how to use handoff. Okay. This is another information on handoff, how it picks up. Um, and it's just detail on showing you how you can actually um, connect it to your iPhone, and then it shows the person actually connecting it and turning on the settings from your iPhone and your iPad, so they can both pair together, so they can swap information, and so that you have the same information on your either your iPad or your iMac computer, and you can just switch it over, and it'll all switch over to your iPhone. And these are real helpful information. If you're interested in that, a lot of people usually don't use the handoff as much because they usually like to take theirs with them. They use flash drives, they use shared drives at work, they have access to. So it's not really a popular thing, but you can use this tool as well. Multitasking, which lets you switch between the apps, meaning that a lot of people, and if you have an iPad, you probably have multiple apps open on your iPad. And to open up those links, you use your fingers. Depending, you use four fingers and swipe across your screen with four fingers, not five, four, and it should bunch up, and then you show multi-screen, different multitasking things that you're working on, and you can work on different things like that. And it'll show each one that you don't want to use. Like some people might open up their multi-screen, see multiple things that you was working on the internet, stuff that you're not interested in anymore and working on. You would have to swipe up, touch the item that you want and swipe up, and that'll get rid of it. And it will quit running in the background because it continues to run. Some people ask questions about that. When you open up multiple things on your screen and you don't really actually close it, it's really still hanging there in the balance for you. So when you swipe down the four and multitask, you can look for that, or swipe to your right, you can look for all the things that you have open, and you could actually either swipe up and get rid of it or touch it and it'll open it all the way up and you can continue working on it. Next is something I just added on here, which I think is very important, is backing up data from your iPad to your PC or to your Mac, your iMac to your iPad. Vice versa. But what you're going to use, if you're using a PC, which is going to be just a regular PC, if you got a Dell or Mac or whatever you have, the Dell, what you're going to do is, since it's a PC, you're still going to have to download iTunes on it to get this to work properly. So if you have a lot of photos and information, and say that you only have maybe 6 gigs left out of 32 on your iPad, because if you go to, like I talked to you earlier about the about, it will show you how much space you have on your device. So if you want to back that up so you won't lose it, you can come here to your iTunes, and what happens is, as soon as you plug it up to your computer, it will show, as you can look up in the top where it says summary, but right above summary, it shows your device will pop up, and it shows you it's a 16 gig, 32 gig, 128 gigs, 256 gigs. It'll show that on the top. It'll show your battery life on that and everything else. And then it gives you a summary of everything that your iPad or iPhone has. This one here shows iPhone 6. So it shows the capacity of how much space is on there. And it shows the iOS, where it's at. It'll show your phone software is up to date, or your iPad is up to date. If it's not up to date, it'll ask you to, do you like to update it? And then of course you're going to say yes. And you want to it will update your iPad for you or your iPhone. If you look down where you see where it says backup actually, you can back it up on an iCloud. Now on here, I think Google, I'm not certain for 100% sure, but I think you get uh, 5 or 10 gigs free on iCloud before you have to start paying for it, and you have to start paying for storage. So if you have a computer that you have room on it, you can actually go instead of where you see where it says iCloud and it's darkened, you can click up under where it says this computer and click that where it will highlight, and you can back up all the information from your iPad or iPhone to your computer that you want. That'll save space for you, and say all your pictures and everything else will flip over into your computer. You won't have to worry about if you wanted to get rid of those pictures and you won't want them. They will be backed up here just in case you ever need them. And you can go in there and retrieve them. You would go into backup now. And what that would do, it will sync with your iPad or iPhone. And from there, it will take all your information and store it into the device you put it on, either your PC or your Mac, and keep your device there. And it'll show at the bottom the latest backup. It'll show there the same date you did it. It'll show that you have backed up on that date. So if ever your, say for instance, your computer had a virus or for some reason it lost all the memory, you can always go back, plug it back into your computer. It'll recognize it. And then you see where it says restore backup. Restore backup, meaning that if you already had information stored on here previously, it's going to pull all that information you got right back into your iPhone or iPad. That means if you had telephone numbers, anything that you had on there and you backed it up, you can restore it and get it back on there for you. You won't lose it. That's a good tool to have. And you might want to think about doing that, even if you have plenty of space on your device. I would recommend to back it up just for safety purposes. If you have a lot of pictures on there, safety purchases, to do that, just to be on the safe side, I would just go ahead and back it up. Because I've seen a lot of people lose a lot of stuff on there and took a long time to try to get it back. You know, sometimes you can and sometimes it's just lost. And to prevent that, you just want to go ahead and just back your things up on there. That's a good thing for you. Okay, here go the multitasking. Okay, that video is still not working, so we're gonna go back here. All right, so on the settings, there is, in the general settings, there's accessibility. Now, some people use this here. It's more like for people who wants to have probably your eyesight is not that good, or your hearing is not too well, and you wanted to enhance your text or enhance the sound or something that, or how your device look. All that is accessibility. You can go in there and you can change all that inside of there. It allows you to go in and change it to way your specifics way where that it'll be better for you to for zooming in. Like for some reason, my mom, she's 81. On her phone, she likes the big text. I don't like the big text, and she want to be able to see it. So her phone is set up that when she looks at it, all her things are on big text, and you can see it in real big letters. So her font is changed to big text. Um, so you can go in this where you can switch it. It also, you can change the language in there. If you're Latino and you want to get it in Spanish, you can change it there. And depending on your nationality, You can change the language and all the other information from that area. And as you can see, this is some more, it's just a close up of accessibility, the voice over. You can zoom, magnify, like I was saying, some of the things, the motions, touch. You have face recognition on your device that it will recognize your face instead of you being able to type in a passcode and you keep forgetting or something like that. It has a face recognition on it that it can recognize your face. And by looking at your face, it will go ahead and unlock your device so you can go ahead and work on it. But you have to set it up in this area here. You got voice command, you got Siri's on here. Siri's is another thing that help you out to find a lot of things. So when I talk to you about finding information like on YouTube or something, you could ask Siri's, find me a video on how to use accessibility on YouTube. And Siri's will find it for you on YouTube and you can watch it from there and take down notes. So Siri's is another one that can help you out to find things exactly what you're looking for. The internet is real tricky. It's just like any other internet or any other services. You have to be more specific on exactly what you're looking for or trying to do. If you don't, it'll kind of take you in a long way around. And a lot of people get frustrated because it won't take them to that specific thing that they're looking for. Well, what you have to do, you have to remember one thing: the more detailed you are on exactly what you're looking for, that's what you'll get out of there. Because if you're more detailed, you'll find it faster and it'll have a video especially for you for that specific area that you're looking for. This is general, and this is how to use the airdrop. You open an app, tap share on the share button. If you share the photo from the Photos app, and you can swipe left or right and select multiple photos. And airdrop users, you can use that to do the airdrop over there if you're interested in ever doing that. And like I said again, I'm more of a visual person, and I could read and understand exactly what they're saying here, and I would know because I mess with a lot of Apple products, so I know how to do it. But I would say if you're not familiar with AirDrop or anything, just take, like I said, you could watch a video on it, and it'll help you out. It'll help you show you details on how to do that, and you'll be able to utilize that. This is a control center, and on here is where you can set up some of the things we just went over. Your timer is there, so you can set a timer to go off at a certain specific time. And timer, you can use it as an alarm too. It could alert you at 11 o'clock. You got a 12 o'clock appointment at a doctor. That timer will go off on your device and let you know. And then you have your camera where you can take pictures, guide access. You can change your text size, accessibility shortcuts, magnification, notes, alarms, and stopwatch. And then screen recording, you can do that as well. Um, so you can see some of the things that they have there that'll be very helpful for you. You can add these with no problem. These are just what some of the things on the control center, what it does on your device. Okay, but before I go over there, I'm gonna go down to some of the other things that I did not discuss, which is this display display and the brightness. Whenever you want to change the brightness and say that your device is a little too dark and you can't hardly see it, If you go to display and brightness, there is a long little bar that comes up with a little dot on it. And as you move it to your right, it'll start to brighten up your screen. And as you move it back to your left, it will start dimming your screen. So this is how you control your brightness on your screen to get it brighter. Now, wallpaper up under it is different. Wallpaper will give you, say like you had a picture, you have pictures, you hit wallpaper, and you had pictures of your grandkids and you want that display as a wallpaper on your device. Well, all you can do on wallpaper, it'll ask you to select and browse into your photos. You find the photo that you're looking for, your kids or your loved ones or whoever you want, or whatever symbol you want or whatever, and select that. It will put it as a wallpaper on your device. And then you got series in the search series, which we just talked about. That'll help you search for a lot of things to find out about. You have your batteries that shows you your battery level, how much battery life do you have in it. Of course, I skipped over Touch ID and password, but it's pretty much a Touch ID where you put your finger on, or you can use your facial ID, which actually I think it takes two pictures of your face to recognize it. If you wear glasses, you might sometime you want to put your glasses on and show a different description of your 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 face with glasses or without, so it'll recognize you just in case you don't have your glasses on sometime when you want to use your device. So, and that's a way that it can lock your device and prevent other people from using it. And the same thing that's what some of the private modes do on that. And at this time, I'm going to take some questions and answers, and then I'm going to see if I can get this. I don't know if I can get this video to play that I had set up for gestures, but it's not working. Um, let's see here, just a second here. Okay, participants. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and take some questions from anyone that has questions about the iPad. I do have a class on iPhones coming up on the 24th of this month toward the end, the same time on Monday. And it'll be in reference to showing you about the iPhone. Now, the thing is, I like to tell everyone that the iPhone and the iPad are very, very similar. And they're basically the same. And you think that you'll say, well, I can talk on my iPhone. Well, you can do the same thing on your iPad as well. So they're both are pretty much the same functionality. It's just a little few little different things, but they're pretty much the same. And we'll be getting into an intro on that. This will be the first time I did the iPhone class. The reason why I probably haven't been touching on the iPhone class is because, like I said, it's really, really similar. And usually when I did a class, I usually try to do both iPhone and iPad class. And I'll put them both together as one. I usually don't do separately. But usually people will get a hand, they pretty much understand the basics of it. And here to come, I probably will be doing more intro class. Usually my iPad classes usually run probably, I usually have 4 different classes on iPad. There's different levels. There's a level 1, level 2, 3, and 4 to get you more in detail on your iPad. Since the pandemic happened, wasn't able to do those. But I think going forth, we're going to get back into that. We're going to do it in the classroom, where I would have classes part 1, 2, 3, and 4. That way you can get more in depth. You can ask me questions, and we'll be sitting together on a lot of things. All right. And I'm seeing that no one's asked questions yet. So what I'm gonna do here, still, okay. I hope everyone can hear me okay, attendees. Okay. Let's see here. So with that being said, I'm gonna put this on the screen for the intro to the class. I'd like to thank everyone for taking this time, and I apologize for the 5-minute or so delay I had trying to get with this internet service that really threw me behind. And I'd like to thank you for joining us. And like I said, if you have any questions, my name is Dan Williams. I put at the bottom, you have D. Williams at orlandparklibrary.org. That is where you can email me with any of your questions you have. Or if you get a chance, stop by the library and you have questions, you have a device, I can look at it and give you some pointers on which way to go with that. All right. And this video will be available on our YouTube channel. And as you can see on here, you'll see the link to the youtube.com channel. And if you go into our Orland Park Library, Public Library, and look up in the corner, I think right corner, you would see our Facebook and our YouTube channel that you can click on through our website. And you can just go directly there. But I just put this on here so you can have that information. If you want to write it down, you can. But if you go to facebook.com/Orland Park Library, you can see these videos and all the videos that we do here at the Orland Park Library. You can get them, watch those videos on these sites here. Okay, and some of the upcoming classes, like I said, my class will be on the 24th. And if you want to find out anything about our classes, I like to just be detailed because a lot of people call and they ask questions about it. And it's real simple. When you go to www.orlandparklibrary.org, and then once you click on that and you look to the right for calendar of events, and you click on it, it'll open up the calendar. And now you'll see Orland Park Library events listed. And then all of our events that we're gonna have here will be listed on that. And you could see which class that you're interested in. And you'll see it in the calendar in the month. And there is a arrow on there where you can switch to different months to look at the different video. I mean, for different months, like you can look at June's and July's if you just click the arrow on the side. But once you see the class or the event that you want to attend and you want to check out, what you can do is click on it. And when you click on it, it'll give you details about the class. It'll let you know the date, the time, what's required and the information that you need to do on that class. So if it's a class that you have to attend and you have to sign up and enroll in, you would know all that information by clicking on it. So this would be very helpful hand on some of you that want to know about these upcoming classes that's going on. Just want to let you know that tool is there for you by going on orlandparklibrary.org. And I want to thank you again for this evening and taking an hour out of your time. And like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to either send me an email, which is Daniel Williams at orlandparklibrary.org. I will get back to you in a timely manner, or you can stop by the library and I'll be more than happy to try to help you out as much as I can. I want to wish you guys a great evening and thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much.